All right, guys, let's reset it. This is my tier list last time. Let's see what I got right and what I got wrong. Okay, so Season 9 tier list, I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun playing this now. It's art and science. The game is not balanced at all. The winners are big winners and the losers are big losers. So if you were one of the people that ended up being one of the big losers, apologies, man, apologies. My DPS heroes aren't very good, but I'm still having a ton of fun because luckily I can play a lot of different things. So let's go ahead and break it down here. Okay. So Bastion, I overrated Bastion. I think when Reinhardt and everything else comes back, he's going to be really, really good. But because it's more so Lucio Zen right now as the support meta, spoilers, I don't think Bastion's not getting picked because he's bad. I think that there are just better options on the field with Soldier and a couple other ones. So Bastion is not a bad character by any means, but he's just not, the heroes that complement him just aren't very good at the moment. So Cassidy, I would say, is B or C tier. I think all hit scan in general were better than I anticipated. No surprise. Hit scans were definitely the biggest winner over the Proj heroes on this patch. Diva, S tier for sure. One of the best heroes in the game. Her ability to mitigate damage and fly on targets with her micro missiles whose projectile size got increased, which means they hit way more. She was the big winner that Doomfist could have been, but wasn't. I think Diva's just a better Doomfist all around. Way more forgiving. Can actually DM incoming damage to stop the DPS passive from being oppressive. Genji, I think, is mid. He's situational. He can be good. Like, he can be good, but, like, double defensive ult makes Blade useless. So, like, on the right map in the mid-fight where you need to set up a dive, like Numbani first attack or something like that, he can be good. But there are definitely better options than Genji, and he's going to get upgraded from, like, C tier because whenever hit scan heroes are good, Genji can be way better because he can actually dive on them, and deflect is a useful ability in general. So, like, if Soldier's really good, Genji's got a favorable matchup into Soldier. He's neutral, right? Because you can deflect, you can set it up, so Genji will get picked, but he's definitely not exceptional. Hanzo, I don't think is that good. Definitely, like, he's just, you know what's ironic? Ironically, Hanzo is even cornier now than he was before. So this should be a lesson to everybody at home. The people saying that Hanzo's a bullshit hero, they just don't like getting one shot by logs because they think it's random. This is even more random, and Hanzo's worse. So you get the worst of both of them, guys. But again, like, I'm not trying to flame the devs for that take. More so the people who sit there and say one shots are awful, but then let them buff Widow the way they did here. It's just fucking silly. Junkrat is garbage. Like, I think Junk is like D tier. He's so bad. Hit scan are way better than him. The only thing he's good for is Tiger, which is easier to hit now. Just not a good character at all. He doesn't even have his combo anymore. So Junkrat is just garbage. Lucio, S tier. Man, Lucio's so good. The boot buffs are super impactful. Lucio Zen comps are back. It's like it's almost Overwatch 1. I haven't felt this way playing Overwatch since 2019. And the game's not balanced at all, but it's still really, really fun because, again, supports are not the strongest role in the game. Your damage actually matters, which requires team coordination. It just goes to show you that whatever the philosophy changes from having supports be the best hero in the game immediately is 10 times better. That is the big takeaway here. We could argue semantics and science of balance all day, but the art of making sure that DPS heroes actually are impactful and supports aren't shutting down every big play in the game, regardless of format, makes the game 10 times more enjoyable. Mei, I think, is a big loser. I think she's bad. I have a hard time even putting her in B tier. I think I was pretty accurate on Mei. I'm not even, the big thing for Mei, she doesn't one-shot Tracer anymore, right? Her big advantage with her hitbox was already really big, and particularly against squishies, you used to be able to hit one headshot and then one body shot and get a kill, and that was fair because she had a big cast time on her shot and it was a projectile. But now, because they did not compensate Mei's damage, it's headshot, body shot, or I don't even think double headshot kills. No, it does. It's either double headshot, which is really hard to do, or headshot, body shot. And that's a big breakpoint changer, making her a big loser in the poke war when this meta is all about poke damage in a way. Oh, poor Mercy players. I think Mercy is only A tier when you play her with Ashe, and that's it. I don't even think Mercy Soldier is that good. Mercy Ashe or Mercy Hanzo to change Hanzo's breakpoints, but the thing is, because of the DPS passive, you spend more time heal beaming than you can damage boosting, unless your Hanzo plays really, really slow. So she's definitely on the losing side for sure. And also Echo, her other good pocket pick, is a big loser this patch as well. Echo can still get played, but like she's definitely loser this patch for sure. Pharah, I think, is garbage. I've seen so many people sitting there talking about Pharah. Now, I haven't really seen Pharah get played to her potential, but with D.Va being S tier and Hitscan being S tier, Pharah just is not going to find a spot in this meta against players who pick the heroes that are actually good into you. Like, you can still, like, only the best of the best Pharahs are going to get any remote value on the character. And I will put a little asterisk on this one. I haven't seen a lot of how new Pharah is played at the ceiling yet. So I will say that's one I definitely could be wrong on. But it's just not her meta. So I hope the devs should not buff her. They should nerf the hit scan, because the hit scan are just super oppressive right now. And that's an unfortunate timing to release the Pharah rework, is when you make hit scan better than they've ever been before, as well as D.Va. You know, but that's what you get when you reshuffle the board. I think Reaper might be a sleeper pick. I haven't played much Reaper yet. If Lucio Zen is meta, his ult's going to be bad. But, like, again, Reaper, I'm going to put him in B tier. He's good into the bad tanks. When you pick, I feel really bad for tank players out there, because if you don't play the good tanks, this patch is going to be fucking miserable for you. And this is why I said this doesn't fix the game's problems. Ironically, I saw a ton of videos from different streamers. Definitely honest people. Or definitely honest takes. Definitely putting out their take out there because it's the truth and not because it's got to look good for Blizzard, right? But saying that different things like, you know, oh, like all the heroes are easier to balance. This patch made the gap between the good heroes and the bad heroes wider than it was before, but the game is more fun because things can die and supports aren't dominating it. So when they pick the Roadhog, they pick the Reinhardt, or any of the tank matchups that favor Reaper, he's really, really good into those, but really, really bad into the inoptimal matchup. So it's more extreme in either direction, right? I'm sorry, Reinhardt players. Ryan is absolute butt cheeks. He is so bad. Ryan, Cloudy kind of talked about this too. Ryan's just unplayable. You lost your window fire strike combo. BAP is okay, but like, man, if you pick Reinhardt, you're just going to get abused by D.Va, abused by Bastion, abused by Reaper, abused by the hit scan. Like, you're just going to get fucking smoked. So Ryan is just not it. Ryan is just not it. And the same goes for Roadhog. I think Roadhog is complete garbage. Again, 20% reduced healing on Roadhog's breather is horrid for Roadhog, and that's how the game should be. Roadhog in 5v5 should be an abysmal pick. I hate to say it, guys, but the game's never fun when Hog's played. It just never is, right? He's just not a tank. Even post rework, people need to accept this. Some of these heroes were just not designed for 5v5. And it really shows. Like, he just has to be bad in this format. Soldier, man, I mean, Jesus. Soldier might be the biggest winner. Soldier's insanely powerful. Super easy to shoot shots. Jeez, hit and shoot got combined right there. My grandpa did that, and my dad does it too, and now I guess it's genetic because I am as well. Super easy to hit shots. It outputs enormous damage. Like, it feels great to play Soldier. It feels fantastic to play Soldier. I'll give the devs credit. The art of Overwatch was really nailed in this patch, and this is probably the ceiling of 5v5. God damn, if they could have done this in 6v6, it would have solved so many problems in the game. Would have been like all-time highs. Like, genuinely better than October of 2020. I think this is the best the game has felt for DPS players since October of 2020. It feels like shit for support players. These are all-time lows. But what people are going to learn about 5v5 in this patch is that it's impossible, and this is the first time we've come full circle, it's impossible for each role to be evenly balanced. Because, again, half of the tank's power is on the tank, and the other half went to the support. So if you make DPS be extra powerful in that front, it's at the expense of a lot of the support heroes, which I'm going to be talking about here in a bit, but we'll get to it later. Symmetra, man, I think she's just bad. Like, she needs, like, Ryan rush comps to be good. I think I'm honestly going to put her in D tier. I think she's just an absolutely garbage hero. I was on the money about Torbjorn, S tier, really, really strong. His shotgun is crazy. His turret is crazy. Molten Core is great for zoning. Torbjorn, a massive winner on this patch. I'm going to say the same for Tracer for a couple reasons. You'll see why in a little bit. It's way easier to hit shots. The bleeding effect on negating healing is really fucking powerful. And most importantly, she complements a hero we're going to talk about in a little bit very well. Widow, I'm going to put an A tier. Like, Widow on the right maps can just hit bombs, but she's not S tier because of another indirect counter to her being very, very strong, which many of you guys probably recognize. So let's keep it going here. Widow definitely A tier, good on the right maps. And the second one hero goes away, she will be insanely broken. I think Winston's overrated, personally. I'm going to put Monkey in B tier. Ana's not good enough for him to be better than his counterpart, and like if you can just pick Reaper into him, he'll get farmed. But I don't think Monkey's bad. I just think there's better options out there. When D.Va is good and the other tank's good, Winston's gonna get gatekept. Zarya is like either A or B tier. She's just not nearly as good as D.Va or the other tank we're gonna get to momentarily, but she's definitely up there. She's all right. She's all right. We were on the money on Zen. I mean, Zen is the best hero in the game, I think, right now. Undoubtedly the best character in the game. This hero is absolutely freaking insanely strong. The strongest he's ever been. I don't know where Jay Jonak is right now, but he's got to get back and get playing the game again because, man, he would be dominating with this. And sadly, guys, my favorite hero in the game, I think Ana's terrible. I think Ana's so bad. And this is, again, why this patch is not balanced at all, right? Because, again, Ana's big drive was her healing. Her burst healing when she's scoped in, just pumping healing into people, right? By shooting their tank, that gets reduced by 20%. Not to mention, ult build rates also got increased by 10%. So Ana's big advantage was quickly building Nano, but effectively, Nano's build rate was nerfed by 30% because she's getting 20% less healing. I'm not sure what the actual math is on that. Somebody will have to correct me down below. But the build rate to Nano is way lower, meaning the mid-fight is way more important, and her mid-fight got dumpstered. She only heals 70 a shot, and that's reduced by 20%. So she's only healing like fucking 55 a shot. That's really, 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 really low. Right? That's bad. That's unpickable. So I think Ana is honestly just unpickable, unfortunately. So sucks for Ana players. Sombra's good because there are some maps where dive is... Well, Sombra's okay. She's either A tier or B tier. We're going to say Sombra's B+, guys. I'm going to say she's B+. I can't quite put her in A tier. Orisa, I think, is B tier. I think she's overrated. Doom is garbage. Orisa could be good, but again, like Orisa's a better option than the bottom tier tanks for sure. You can kind of exist on Orisa, but she's not exceptional by any means. Because again, she's not exceptional because she can't negate damage for her team, and these poke battles are crazy, right? Who did I just put in? Doomfist is terrible. Like dive is good, right? But like unless you're LeBron on Doom. Like, do you guys remember how I said that previous Doomfist change was a nerf to Doom? Like, it's nice to get healed, but something down the line is gonna happen, and the devs aren't gonna compensate for it properly. So, Doom had a 20% increase to his ult charge rate when they gave him the healing, and then guess what? Then they nerf ult charge globally by 10% and don't compensate for Doom. So you build your ult slow, you can't stay in as long because you'll just get perma-marked by Sombra Tracer and get fucking farmed because you can't get healed. So your uptime is lower, your ult charge got nerfed, and like ultimately that healing doesn't really matter too much regardless when you're in your ult. So he's just a significantly worse version than Monkey and the tank we're gonna get to in a little bit. But dive is good, so Doom can fill into the dive if you play him perfectly, but man, it's gonna hurt. You have to slow down big time. So I think Doom is just ass. Moira, I actually am gonna put an A tier. Deathball comps like are really, really good right now because you can't out heal things. You just have to sustain as support. Like, Ana's not going to get picked because you can't outnumber or overwhelm, but Moira has no utility. Like, those kind of people who just, like, huff glue and don't know anything about Overwatch, like, Moira is insanely good, right? Her utility is her self-sustain, and this meta is going to show you how important it is to self-sustain, and when Zen gets nerfed, you could see Moira fill in on a lot of maps. I think she's pickable, but, you know, she's definitely not the best. She's better than Ana, I think. Like, I think Ana's just garbage. Brig, I'm going to put an A tier as well with Moira. Brig is really good when Ball is good, as well as the fact she complements Zen really, really well. I think Lucio's a little bit better right now, but Brigitte is definitely sitting in that A tier. Of course, Brig is. She's the most overkitted, highest win rate character in the entire game, the most broken character ever put in a video game, and I stand on business on that one. Guess who was right about the Brig rework last time, too, when everybody said, Flats and Samito, you guys are just gaslighting us. You're such doomers. You're doomers, guys. You're Overwatch haters. And then what was Brig's win rate? Oh my god, that's right. She had the highest win rate across every rank, 55% from bronze all the way to GM, and that's never happened before to a hero. Even pay to win Mauga was a lower win rate in all ranks than that. So, I'll bring my receipts yet again. And I hate to be a I told you so guy, but for the amount of hate I get for the takes that I'm consistently right on, I'm going to stand on business and pull out my receipts just like I did for Suzu. Wrecking Ball, huge winner. Here's why. The DPS passive doesn't affect him as much because his adaptive shields can go up to like 600, 700 HP, whatever it is, right? A ridiculous number. The DPS passive doesn't affect those. So the DPS of passive doesn't affect him until he's taken a bunch of damage, very similar to DM. And he can set up dives against Lucio Zen, who are both incredibly strong and meta supports right now, really, really well. He also complements Tracer very, very well. He's forced Widow down to A tier, and he's also forced Sombra into that B+ tier because Sombra complements Ball and is pretty decent at stopping Ball compared to some of the other characters really, really well. Ashe, still A tier. A big winner. You guys are going to notice a common theme. Mostly the hit scan heroes were the biggest winners coming into this patch. Playing Ashe is noticeably better, especially on the poke maps, man. You can put up insane numbers and you're hitting crazy headshots that, frankly, you have no business hitting, and it feels really damn good to play Ashe. Now, are you actually hitting these shots? No, but, you know, is what it is. I don't know if she's S tier, guys. I don't know if she's quite S tier. Mostly because, again, Lucio Zen is getting played in a lot of situations. If Lucio gets nerfed and it goes back to BAP, she will be S tier. Mercy will jump back up to B tier because of that. But again, because it's Lucio Zen Ball all the time, playing Ashe into that comp isn't as good as some of the other picks. So that's why you're not seeing her as much. And D.Va is kind of holding her back just a little bit as well. But the second that these things change up top, Ashe will immediately jump up top. Don't forget it. Ashe insanely overtuned right now. Same goes for BAP. I think BAP is A tier. Those poke maps, he's really, really good. He's not great into Ball, but man, I'll tell you what, on the right map, he's going to put in that work. And the second one of these things changes, he will be strong. And like, he does a lot of damage too. Sigma S tier, again, he denies DPS value on him. He has grass. He's just he's the most overkitted tank they ever put in the game. Shocker. Samito, I played 20 hours in GM, 3+ lobbies, and Torb is horrible. The hero's not bad. You're bad. I hate to break it to you, buddy. Torb's insane, especially on the right map pick. You can't force him in shit situations, but anyway. Back to Sigma here. Yeah, Sig's just insane. Like, he can stop the DPS passive on himself. He can turn damage into healing. In the poke maps, he's always been super, super good. And that's how you know he was overkitted in Overwatch 1. The hero design was the problem because no matter what meta has changed, guys, no matter what the patch has been, Sigma has always been played on certain maps, no matter what's gotten changed, because he is that oppressive. So, Echo, unfortunately, a big loser in my opinion. I would have had her ranked A tier in the previous patch. She's B tier here. She can fill into the right comp, but they didn't adjust her damage properly. So, like, it's at base, it's much harder to kill people because you still have to go up against the MOs. It's hard for Lucio Zen to pocket her. She's not a bad character, and she still might get some playtime. Make no mistake. On the right maps and the right situations, you absolutely can play Echo. But copy, it's harder to build your ult. And if they go the hit scan heroes that are really, really good, it's really easy to force you off. So Echo is by no means a terrible character. And honestly, I probably should rank Cass a little bit lower. Same with Genji. She's B+. Echo and Sombra are B+, to be clear. These two heroes are better than the rest of the B tier, in my opinion. Sojourn. I think Soj is insane, man. No surprise. You make her hitboxes bigger, dude. She already was crazy. She can survive well against Ball. She has good mobility. She and Soldier are kind of competing for the same spot. Queen, I'll put an A tier. She's map dependent. On the right map, Queen is really good, especially against Lucio Zen. If she gets Queen ult, that matchup favors her unless if they don't have beat because you can kill through Trank. I don't think she's an exceptional tank though. I'm hesitant to put her in A tier. She's B+ too. Echo, Sombra's Queen are B+ tier in my opinion. But yeah, she's just very map dependent. Kiriko, sleeper pick. Insane utility, insane sustain. When Zen gets nerfed, Kiri's going to start to shine. And I don't think anybody's surprised about that. I don't even need to go into detail on that one. Kiriko's just crazy. And then Ram, I think because it's Lucio Zen, Ram is A tier, right? When Zen goes away, Ram will be very good. But as long as Zen is up here, I have to put Ram down here. It's kind of like Ram is a top 10 team that has like 2 losses. but those 2 losses are to like the #1 ranked team in the country. And like Diva is just a better version of him who's like ranked number 7. So like there's a lot of 1-loss characters up in here that like are pretty good, but like Ram's a 2-loss character just because what's forcing him out is just the best shit in the game right now. So again, especially as a tank trying to fill into the tank role when Diva and Ball are just the best heroes in the game, you're not gonna get picked a whole lot. Weaver, D tier. He's all stats, right? He's all stats, and like Life Grip's still pretty good. It has its moments, but like, you know, it's just, again, these types of healers that are all stats just are freaking terrible right now because the stats got nerfed. And then I've seen Illari get picked a little bit. I think she's B tier. I don't think she's great. No, not until they nerf Zen. When they nerf Zen, Illari might come back, but like until they nerf Zen, she's just D tier. And then Wowga, I mean, just fucking hell, this hero is just terrible. D tier as well. So did we get it right? I mean, the meta is kind of a pseudo poke. It's Lucio surprised me. I thought Rush could be decent. Lucio, Zen, Ball, Soldier, Tracer or something is really, really strong. But yeah, Ball is fucking insane. Ball is fucking insane because of the setups and his adaptive shields. I say for the most part, we got it right. Poke heavy heroes are really, like, look at these heroes, right? Diva can be a flex. Lucio can poke a little bit. Soldier poke. Torb poke. Tracer surprised me because Ball is good. Zen is good. Sigma's good. Soja's good. Kiri's good. And then right underneath them are a lot of poke heroes that are super, super strong. I think Brawl itself is not that good, but Anti-Nade isn't useful. On a stat line is not good enough to build Nano, and I would say this is my tier list thus far. I haven't played as much as other people, but this is what's feeling good to me. So yeah, that's my Season 9 updated tier list post-launch. We will see how things go. Well, Lucio Zen became good because health pools were higher, so they became so much more forgiving, right? There is no way Kiri is S. The second Zen is nerfed. Kiri's a sleeper pick, without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind. When they tune a lot of the BS down, that like sold, like when they tune the hit scan and projectile like hitboxes down, I'm telling you, she's gonna be good. She's there. Like if there's one thing I've learned, do not bet against heroes that have all those overrides. Never bet against them because they're always on the cusp of being good, and a lot of flex supports players are agreeing, and as I'm seeing over time. So, yeah, that's my tier list for Season 9.